All right, coming in at number 9 on our 2023 organizational value rankings. It's our 4th year doing it. It's this guy's first year on the list. He's a hired gun. It's Vladimir Tarasenko.
Yep, Vladimir Tarasenko coming to Ottawa. He had multiple other options. He took a look at the landscape and said, hey, I can be put in a real good position here with Ottawa, not only to obviously make decent money, $5 million deal, not too shabby, but be put with players that can help him succeed. The culture of this team, I think, is what he was looking for. I anticipate he is going to be on that top line with Timmy and Brady. I mean, there's not much better landing spots you can find if you want to put up big numbers. And then, hey, he can have success here, and maybe he likes it, he sticks around, or he uses this as a platform to try to get another big contract in free agency next year. But either way, this is the type of player that the Ottawa Senators needed to be able to attract to try to take those next steps, and they got him.
If you can make it here, you can make it anywhere. Well, that's actually the New York slogan.
Where he's coming from.
After a brief stint at MSG with the Rangers, Vladimir Tarasenko played a combined 69 games last year between the St. Louis Blues and New York Rangers, scored 18 goals, 32 assists, 50 points, only 8 penalty minutes, and had a -14 rating. The 6'1" right winger, left shot, classic Russian playing his offside, is affectionately known as Tank. And why, you may ask? Well, maybe it's because he's 228 pounds. Pretty tough to move off the puck at that size. 31 years old, will turn 32 during the season. And Pilsy, we've talked a lot about Shane Pinto recently on Locked On Senators. Vladimir Tarasenko has 2 less career playoff games than Shane Pinto has regular season games. And in those 97 playoff games, Tarasenko scored 44 goals, has 64 points, and co-led the 2019 Stanley Cup champion St. Louis Blues in goals with 11 in 26 games during that run. So he brings pedigree, he brings an elite shot, and he brings a level of, hey, I believe in this core. You're all young. I'm going to come in here. And yeah, DeBrincat was more, 24 years old. You hoped, if you're a Sens fan, that he was going to be a part of the core of this team going forward. Whereas Tarasenko is the type of addition that a team who already has a core and just needs another addition to take them over the top. This is the type of addition that Tarasenko brings to Ottawa. Whether he's here for 1 year or an extension, I'm happy if he does well here 1 year and then wants to go play somewhere else. But I need 1 year of consistency from Tarasenko.
Yeah, I think honestly, the hired gun label is the perfect way to describe Tarasenko. Like, it's a 1 year deal, decent dollars, and let's see how it goes. And I think the thing too, Ross, is you're looking at a guy that has a bunch of NHL experience. He's been on a couple teams now, and he has a sense of what he's looking for. Whereas Alex DeBrincat, he had only played on the Blackhawks, and then he got traded here. He didn't choose to come here, so he made the most of the situation. And I think it was pretty clear that he wasn't really interested in sticking around long term. Whereas Vladimir Tarasenko, it's clear, 1 year deal. Let's see what we can do. Rack up the points. Let's win some games. Let's have some playoff success. You can be a veteran guy in this young core. You can help be a part of this culture that's going to grow and grow, hopefully into something successful. And we'll go from there. So I really like the Vladimir Tarasenko signing. I think before I was more interested in Tatar just because I didn't think Tarasenko would really be interested in coming here. But I think the free agent landscape is different than people thought it would be. I mean, just ask Thomas Tatar, who is still without a contract right now. So I think it ended up working out good mutually for Tarasenko and the Sens.
It's a down year for Tarasenko last year.
With injuries involved, though.
There's no way around it, though. It was a down year. He still would have been 6th on the Sens in points by a fair margin. Then you look at it, and his last full season, played 75 games in St. Louis in 21-22, and had 82 points. 34 goals. He's a 5-time 30 goals, 6-time 30 goal scorer, and even hit 40 at his peak back in 2015-16. I'm not expecting those numbers. I think anything over 25 goals should be considered a successful season for Vladimir Tarasenko. Is there a number you're willing to put on it, whether it's goals or points that you want to see out of him?
I'm looking for goals from Vladimir Tarasenko. The points are going to come. This team has enough guys that can put up points. They need to replace Alex DeBrincat's goals. And I really think, honestly, and I'm not just doing this to joke around, but 27.5 goals is kind of where I got Tarasenko, because I think that's very possible on a line with Brady and Timmy. The power play is going to be absolutely elite. I just think as long as health isn't an issue, he should be able to put up 30 goals, if not at least 25 and more. And I think too, Ross, last year, if I'm not mistaken, one of his injuries was blocking a shot. It hit his hand, and then maybe he had a minor shoulder injury. So I don't think these are lingering things that we really need to be too concerned about in the short term.
Do we like this as a projection for Tarasenko? 27 goals, 39 assists, 66 points, 45 penalty minutes, and better than -31. That would be the line of a dog.
Absolutely. Yeah. Better than a cat on that one. But that's the thing. Like, sure, those are good numbers, but like, I think Tarasenko's going to bring a lot more than Alex DeBrincat brought. And I don't think Tarasenko is going to be too concerned about where playing behind Brady Tkachuk. He'll be in a line with him.
Yeah, exactly. It'd be nice if you could play both wings, but we know that Tarasenko likes playing the right wing. And I think the Senators are trying to accommodate that. DJ Smith mentioning to Bruce Garriock earlier this month, saying that Drake Batherson, Claude Giroux have already both offered up to play left wing. Just team guys, Pillsy. Just team guys.
Tarasenko's playing on the right side like that. He's playing on the right side, and he's not playing on the third line. I'll tell you that for free. He's playing top two right winger, and he's going to be on the top power play.
Well, with the power play, it's interesting. I'd recommend everyone go take a listen to our interview with Jamie Rivers a little while ago. He mentioned that Tarasenko typically sets up in that Josh Norris, that Jacob Chikrin position from last year on the one-timer side, but he doesn't often take one-timers. Yep. He's more of a catch and shoot. And to me, that almost works out better that he should be in the bumper spot. We're going to get to Drake Batherson, but Batherson played so well in that bumper spot on the first unit, but on the second unit, they haven't really had a guy. So I'm not saying that he has to be on the second unit. I don't want him to pull the Heatley. My role's been diminished. But again, hired gun, he'll play where he's told. I really think that middle of the ice, have him kind of be a floater and get those quick release, because that's his number one attribute, those quick release wristers. Yep. And let's say that the one-timer is coming from, let's say it's Chikrin on the second unit on that one-timer side, or Kubalik, because he loves firing the one-timers. And then these rebounds are created out front. I don't need him to stand in front of that. Brady's probably going to do that for a minute and a half on the power play. I like Pinto down low on the second unit. So maybe that's the bumper, but the guy who's right in the middle of the ice, just kind of floating out front, that's where I want Tarasenko.
And big body too. So if you got him floating in front, that makes things difficult for the goaltender looking around that screen.
Yeah, moving screens as well. I just see Tarasenko as kind of a, jack of all trades in terms of where he can fit into the power play, which was so lethal last year. And now you're just hoping that with Norris coming back and with Tarasenko being added here, that you're going to more than make up for Alex DeBrincat's posting out and missed nets and all that we saw a ton last year. But Tarasenko, man, this is going to be an interesting year for Vladdy. Like, we did our draft in the Ring of Honor. You can catch on YouTube and go back and check out our top free agents. But man, he made the list. Like, this is a big dog who's choosing Ottawa.
Yeah, he was one of my top picks. I think he was my second pick, honestly. So I'm honestly really excited they got Tarasenko. Like, I was ready to roll into the season as Kubalik and Norris being the goal replacement for Alex DeBrincat. So adding a guy like Tarasenko was just the icing on top of the cake.
And funny enough, there's a roundabout way that Tarasenko is actually home. We'll end it off with this talking Tarasenko, but I love this because it happened while I was at prom. It was that's how far back we have to go. I was at the War Museum having my prom, and I get a notification. Probably not even a notification. It was probably like a TSN text alert back in the day. But where it was at the draft, the Ottawa Senators trading their first round pick, 16th overall, for the 16th overall pick from last year, David Rundblad at the time, and then St. Louis goes up and selects Vladimir Tarasenko. Hilarious how it all worked out.
Welcome home, Vladdy. Welcome home.
Vladimir Tarasenko makes his debut on the organizational value rankings at number 9.